All right. So, super excited to have this session today. If folks had joined last month for our Academy webinars, they might be familiar with some of this content, but we've got a really, really exciting release coming out just in a few weeks on December 4th, our December store release. And I think the most exciting thing that we've got coming out in that release is our new platform health experience. So we're super excited to walk you guys through that today. That's going to be the main topic for today's webinar. And we've got David here, who's our product expert on platform health, who's going to walk you guys through a demo of what we've got coming out in just a few short weeks. So before we dive in, we've just got a few safe harbor elements to walk you guys through a little bit of housekeeping. For those of you who are Academy webinar veterans, probably well used to seeing this stuff. For those of you who aren't, this is how every webinar starts. But just gotta kind of walk you guys through a quick safe harbor here. Essentially, we recommend that you guys don't make any purchasing decisions based on what you see in this presentation, and the information we share with you is based on what's currently available to us as of today. All right, just a little bit of housekeeping here. We've saved time for Q&A at the end, so please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom console instead of the chat to submit questions. We'll try our best to answer your questions that you put in the Q&A as we're going through the presentation, but we've also got time saved at the end to answer your questions live as well. You'll see the presentation is recorded, so the presentation will be recorded and shared after the event, so you can check it out on our community YouTube channel, as well as on the actual impact page on the ServiceNow community. And after the event, you'll also get a short survey. So thank you in advance for your feedback. We depend on your feedback to make these webinars as useful and helpful as possible for all of you. So thank you guys. And lastly here, for those of you again who are very familiar with this won't be new news, but we have these live on ServiceNow Impact Academy webinars once a month. So really appreciate all you guys participating. If it's your first one, welcome. If you've been here many times, again, appreciate you guys participating and joining. But please register for our webinars, and we look forward to having you guys on future ones as well. All right. So very quickly, we always start out just with a quick intro to Impact, especially for folks who might be a little bit newer to what Impact is. And then after that, we'll dive right into what we've got coming out in December, and we'll walk you guys through a live demo of what you can see coming out. And excitingly enough, if you guys had joined last month, we hadn't had a live demo ready yet for our new Codefix AI agent feature, and so we do have that today. So a little bit of new content for folks who might have seen last month's webinar as well. So again, before we dive into the platform health features, just want to level set by grounding everybody into what Impact is, why we built it, right? So at the highest level, taking a really big step back, as organizations are trying to transform their business, we typically see that they are slowed down both by technical debt and a lack of expertise, right? A really high percentage of enterprises plan to increase their AI and technology investment, but a large percentage of them, more than a third of them, have only a third of them have the talent and skills needed to actually execute on this. And there's also been a massive growth, 6 trillion in growth in global technical debt over the last decade. And what we typically see is that results in four challenges. So one is just slow time to value, right? So it takes too long to implement and adopt a new technology, whether it's AI or anything else. And it's hard to actually measure the ROI and business value that you're getting out of that. Two is a lack of expertise, right? So folks need help and guidance to try to achieve the long-term business goals that they have with technology, but a lot of times internally, there's not enough expertise to actually make this scale. Third is technical debt, right? So, there's a lot of sometimes lack of governance, sometimes kind of manual work, workarounds, right? I mean, this is all stuff that builds up over a long period of time and ultimately leads to extra maintenance. And at the end, we often see that our customers and companies are forced to kind of choose between innovating net new and maintaining old legacy stuff, which is never where you want to be. And the last is a risk to continuity. So, technology, as we all know, has now become so mission critical to all of us in our core business operations. So, you can't risk downtime or any performance degradation. So, to try to solve these business challenges, that's why we built ServiceNow Impact. So, Impact is a combination both of technology, AI, and human-led expertise that helps you accelerate adoption and value, get help to experts on demand, keep your platform performant and healthy, and also enhance your business continuity and maximize uptime. So in terms of what that actually looks like, as far as results, right? You can see some of that on the right. That could look like a 50% reduction in P1 support cases, right? It could look like a much higher ability to maintain out-of-the-box capability just by having better governance in your enterprise for your ServiceNow platform. Or it could just be faster platform upgrades, right? So those are some of the things that Impact can help you achieve. And lastly, in terms of what this actually means, right? What you actually get from everything that you purchase when you buy Impact. So we like to think about it in four big buckets. One is value and adoption. So think about that as helping you understand what you've bought, if you're using it, and how you can use it better if you're not. Expertise and guidance. I think this is pretty straightforward. Think about that as access to folks you can ask for help when you need it. Premium support, right? That's the break fix help. When something's broken, we're around 24/7 to help you fix it. And the last one, and that's going to be the focus of today, is health and observability, right? So observability, if you're familiar with Instance Observer, gives you real-time visibility into what's happening and what's working, what's not on your instance. And we also provide really deep platform health capabilities that help you make sure that your platform is set up for scale and you're minimizing technical debt. So with that, I think that's a good segue to kick it over to David to walk you guys through the platform health focus part of this presentation.
Thanks, Harsha. So yeah, we have a very exciting release scope for the December store release relating to platform health, and we're bringing all of the innovations that were purchased in that May acquisition of the Bravium capabilities there and bringing it now to be a part of the Impact Store application. So super exciting things on the roadmap here. And let's just get into it. So first, we're bringing over some diagnostic scanning capabilities. So now in your instance, you are capable of scanning everything from full instance reviews of every sysmetadata file within your instance to targeted real-time checks of objects as your developers are working on them, changing them, modifying them, introducing them into the system. So these scans, the first time the scan runs, the full scan will run and it will scan your entire instance, finding all known findings. Then every scan run after that will be run as a delta scan, making this process a little bit more efficient so that it doesn't have to scan every single file that it did before. It's only looking for records that have changed since that previous scan there. So this is also capable of doing fixed scope scans on update sets on demand on a single definition or a single rule. And you can also scan applications so you can monitor those custom apps or just the various modules within your ServiceNow instance and see how you're doing in those different areas. And then, of course, it can also scan individual files. And that is bringing us to our prevention and resolution. So, diagnostic scans are uncovering all of your technical debt that exists within your instance. This prevention and resolution bucket is talking about proactive governance, catching these issues before you see them in the life cycle. Um, yes, Karen, we are still on a slide right now. Just talking about the prevention and resolution over here. But so the real-time prevention will allow you to see messages pop up on your screen as you're introducing code, as you're introducing objects into the system. Um, I will demo that in a little bit to show you the different capabilities there. We also have an exception approval for some of our levels of rule. You can submit exceptions to bypass the system for allowable occurrences of technical debt, as well as we have App Engine management support, allowing you to integrate directly into that and take advantage of our governance on your scoped app deployment requests. So now you can set conditions those deployment requests have to meet in order to actually make it past the code review into the next instances. So some very exciting prevention and resolution capabilities uh, being released as well. And then, of course, so we do have very rich metrics that we report on all of the findings that are uncovered and also some of that ROI taken from the prevention and resolution when you have um, technical debt blocked by the preventative measures. We also report on that in a cost savings metric. So you have trend charts showing you your trend over time with role-based views. So this data is pertaining to specific personas where executives will only be shown data that is high level, a holistic view of their whole instance, all the way down to developers who are more concerned with their own personal technical debt and will only look at what they are introducing slash remediating or what's assigned to them. And we also have very exciting AI capabilities and some cool integrations as well. So the highlight here is, of course, the Codefix AI agent. So now, instead of having to go and apply the recommended resolution yourselves and kind of see which is the best way to go about that, now you can invoke our agent and have them come up with these fixes for you in an interactive dialogue where you can reject, accept, or modify the suggestions given to you, and then apply it directly into your objects in real time. So, some very exciting things on the horizon for the Codefix AI agent. You're definitely going to want to get prepared for that. And then we do have some integrations with your agile processes if you're utilizing Jira, Azure DevOps, or just SPM or any ServiceNow internal table. We allow for user stories or work items to be created directly out of the findings uncovered by the scans, so you can assign them out to be worked actively, ensuring that this technical debt is not forgotten. And of course, we also have multi-instance communication. We have APIs set up that you can connect the instances in your stack to ensure consistent definitions, ensuring that all of your instances are adhering to the same rule set across the board, and do a little bit of integrations with the exception approval governance, where you can approve all exceptions or reject exceptions from one main production instance, and also it will push up those update set scans, summary scans there, so you can keep track on the update sets contained within your different instances there. So I know I just threw a lot at you. There's a lot going into this release here, and without further ado, let's just get into the demo and show off some of this functionality here. So I'm just going to replace the screen share. Um, and hey, just bear with me. So, can you confirm you can see my screen, Harsha?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Awesome. So, today I'm just going to be showcasing how these capabilities can make your developers aware and actually prevent them from introducing technical debt into your instance in real time. Additionally, we're going to review the findings and show how admins, development leads, and business resources can analyze and form remediation plans, along with reviewing those diagnostic dashboard reporting just to show off those key metrics and insights. So, the first capability that we want to show off is this real-time messaging and prevention here. So, in this example, I am a developer trying to create an on-change client script record here. This block of code down here contains some known best practice findings, which I will attempt to save and introduce into the system. As you can see, as soon as I attempt to introduce this record and this technical debt into the system, the scan engine automatically scans this record against our library of best practice definitions and finds any violating code. And then I am stopped in my track here. I am not allowed to submit this message. Then these messages, they do come in four different levels of rule. So as the act, recommend, suggest, and review. Each of these messages, they have their own behavior for how they're going to interact within your instance, but they are all formatted the same way. You get the level of rule next to the definition itself and short description, but if you want more information on what this definition is, you can click directly into that definition record itself and get that additional context. You also get the details showing you exactly where on the form this technical debt actually exists, along with your steps to resolve and the supporting documentation, giving me all the context necessary to resolve this finding from within this record here. So, starting with these messages, I'm going to go one at a time and how they interact within your instance. And we're going to start with the most severe type of finding, which is the act. So they have a zero tolerance. These must be saved or must be resolved in order for you to save your development work. Most of the time, they're related to security and performance. In this example specifically, it's calling out that scripts should not use the eval function. If this isn't configured correctly, this could actually lead to an injection attack and cause some very serious issues for your instance. So as you can see, what could go easily undetected in a manual code review is put in the spotlight. Thankfully, I have Impact, and I know to look for the eval function that is on line 4 of the script field, making my discovery take less than a second, and I know to replace this with the glide evaluator. And when I do that, I spelled evaluator wrong. But now when I hit save, you can see that that act message has dropped off the list. But I still have not been allowed to create this record. You still see the submit UI action in the top right here. I have not actually introduced this into the system yet, and that's bringing us to our next level of rule, recommend. So with the act, there is a zero tolerance. They must be resolved in order for you to save your work. This finding has a little bit of more leeway with them in the form of exceptions. So with a recommend, you can either resolve the finding or you can submit an exception to bypass this blocking functionality here. So this definition is checking for is loading. I would just say do not check for is loading and give my justification there. You want to be as specific as possible here as this exception goes to an approver or approval group who you specify in your properties page. So now when I submit that exception, you can see that the message changed from red to blue and the state is updated to requested. So now when I attempt to save this record and introduce it, it will get created as I have bypassed that recommend level finding there. But you'll still see some more messages pop up here, and that brings us to our next level of rule, suggest. So these operate more like informational messages. They won't actually stop a developer from saving, but they do provide recommendations for cleaner code. So we ultimately consider them technical debt. The last level of rule that we have is different from all of the others in the sense that it actually does not contribute to technical debt. This rule we call review. It's instead simply calling out configurations or items for an admin or developer's awareness, but we do not report on them in the dashboard analytics metrics by default. You can, of course, enable this additional reporting if you would so like within your properties page. In addition to these out of the box rule sets, you can also override any of our existing definitions here and adjust any of the field values to be more representative of the technical debt philosophy of your organization. So if we have a rule that is blocking you, that you do not want to block you, your admins can lower that severity. If you have a rule that you want to block someone, but it is not blocking people, you can raise that level of rule. In addition to modifying any of our existing out of the box definitions, you also have the ability to create completely custom definitions. With that, this allows your organization to automate the technical governance in real time at this level of granularity. This prevention being caught in real time circumvents that need for a lengthy manual code review process. This is also acting as a training aid for all of our future development. Devs will learn from these best practices as these messages pop up and become better coders in the process as they adjust their habits. So this is how Impact prevents future technical debt. Now we're just going to review the scheduled scanning capability. which is how we look to the past development and find all of our existing findings within the instance here. So platform health admins, they can configure platform health to automatically scan our instance for findings present within our organization's existing ServiceNow landscape. These scans, they can be scheduled to run on a nightly, weekly, or monthly cadence. And this is all managed from the platform health configuration page contained within your instance. The first scan will be, as I was saying before, is conducted as a full scan, captures a complete baseline, captures all current findings. Then every scan after that is ran as a delta scan, which only focuses on the changes made since that previous scan, again, making this much more efficient and incremental. So after each scan is ran, a scan result record is generated. So as a platform health admin, I can navigate to these records, this table, and view raw metrics on technical debt broken down across multiple dimensions. So we give it to you in an account form, in a time form, in your impact to instance, and we also calculate this in a cost savings form, but each individual finding is also saved within the system here and includes some details regarding what definition was violated here, what is this finding, what is the subject of this finding here. So the top half gives you all information regarding that, and you can also jump directly into the definition record itself with this pop-up functionality just to get as much context as necessary as to the subject of our discovery today. Down below in the resolution tab, you're getting those steps to resolve the supporting documentation, giving you the context necessary to know how to resolve this finding. Then pair that with the scanned object tab. This tells you exactly where in the system this technical debt actually exists. You can be made aware of the application this technical debt is existing in with the scan scope field. The scan table field alerts you to the type of object, and the scanned record field has pop-up functionality to allow you to jump directly into the source file that created this technical debt and allows you to go very quickly from discovering what went wrong, understanding how to resolve it, and actually resolving that technical debt, all from within this finding record here. Additionally, when you have those agile integrations set up for those agile process boards, you will see the create task UI action appear on any of these finding records here, which allows you to create work items directly out of the fields here and assign them to your users to be worked. This is ensuring that that technical debt is actively managed and not forgotten. So now that we've seen how platform health scans identify and they store findings, let's look at how data is visualized and made actionable through the diagnostic dashboards. So we do have four different dashboard roles. So each dashboard is tied to a specific role, meaning your users will only see the views relevant to their responsibilities. So whether you're an executive looking for those high-level trends, a platform owner tracking team performances, a team lead focused on coaching developers within your team, or just a developer managing personal technical debt, there's a dashboard built just for you. So focusing on the executive, this is talking more about those high level metrics, this holistic instance view here. They're not concerned with the individual files and the technical debt in that sort of manner, but they are concerned with the entire instance outlook. So how much technical debt do we have existing within this instance? We can view this in a cost metric or a time metric. So how we calculate this out is that every definition, every message that you saw on that real-time example there, those definitions have an associated estimated time to resolve, and then you define your average development rate in the scan engine properties form. So we add up all of that estimated time to resolve for all of your outstanding findings, and we multiply it by that average developer rate, giving you the technical debt in a cost metric. So it's important to note that that is only considering development time. That doesn't have any implication in testing, QA, or any additional work streams. So this is more of a soft estimate. Then we're also reporting on the technical debt that has been prevented from being introduced into your instance in a positive way. So this is that ROI reporting here. Every time, this is the real-time message prevention here. Every time you saw me get blocked from introducing the record into the system, we capture that in a table and add up again the estimated time to resolve for those definitions, giving you the cost savings of what the scan engine, what impact has prevented from being introduced into your system, avoiding costly rework. So when it's in your system, it's too late to prevent it. You have to add those story points into sprints. You have to assign that out and reduce your developer capacity for innovation. But with the technical debt being prevented, you can actually avoid all of that rework initially, saving many costly revisions and allowing you to keep innovating for the future. In addition to that, you're also getting a health score, which is a calculation of your total outstanding findings versus all of the files that did not have definitions proc for them in a percentage way. And then you also get your findings resolved with AI, which I will demo in a little bit, showing off our Codefix AI agent and how you can interact with that. We also report out on the different categories within your instance. What categories contain the most technical debt? Where are those concentrations and how can we drill down there? Then again, you're getting the information also shown up there over time in a trend analysis down here. So you can see where are we in terms of the different categories? Are we moving further away from technical debt? Are we gaining more technical debt? You can find this with same with the health score, what percentage are we at? Have we had a noticeable dip? Can that be correlated with any clones, anything like that? And also your real-time preventions as well, giving you that ROI, the cost savings. How is this system interacting with my developers? And we don't just report on the findings that exist, we also report on the findings that you have resolved in a positive standpoint to show where you are working towards. And if you have your API integrations set up between our instances, you can even compare key metrics between instances. So this is the executive role. Moving on to the platform owner. So, or platform owners are more concerned with the tech debt across teams. So all of the teams within our instance here, they still have more of a holistic view in terms of all of the outstanding findings and the health score, but they do want to see those team specific trends to see what areas are could we improve on, where is there any one team that perhaps could use some sort of training, maybe there's an opportunity for a lunch and learn. You can analyze all of these metrics here to determine that about your various teams. This findings by impact to instance chart is great for if you have so many findings, you have 500 findings or 1,000 findings in the act level, but you don't know where to get started. You're overwhelmed with the amount of findings that you have. This prioritization here really helps you get started. You're going to want to work on those 8, 9s, and 10s first, those higher impact findings before working on maybe the lower priority ones. Again, we're showing this data shown off across your different teams here. So you can drill down into those team specific trends, see which teams are accruing technical debt, which teams are doing a good job of resolving it, and also see the different categories that contain the technical debt per team. We also report on this by impact to instance and again, the real-time prevention as well. But we don't do too much development in this demo instance, so apologies for the charts not showing data there. Then the team lead is more of your individual developers that you're focused on coaching. So right now, my team is doing great. They don't have any technical debt. I only have one team member, and he's doing an amazing job so far. So gonna give him a pat on the back there. But you can also report on all of this in that same trend analysis to see who on your team is introducing more and more technical debt, who is gaining an understanding of these definitions, and where are those opportunities for educating? What are the definitions that are constantly being um, what are the definitions that are constantly being resolved or uncovered? What are our constant problem children here? And maybe we can train the team up on that and upskill them. Now, onto the developer dashboard. A developer is not concerned with the overall instance performance as much as those other personas. They're more concerned with their day-to-day. their technical debt that they have either introduced or that has been assigned to them. So here they're getting many of those same charts that you've seen before, but with the word my in front of them, indicating that all of this is relevant to your user here. So you're again getting that bar chart of impact to instance, giving you that jumping off point of where to start. And then also your open findings priority here is sorted first by impact to instance and second by estimated time to resolve, giving you the biggest bang for your buck definition right up front. So you're getting the easiest ones to resolve with the highest impact. Then you will also get various other ones showing you your open exceptions to allow you to know maybe I need to go and request a new exception here, or maybe I need to amend my requested exception as it has not been approved. So all of these ways are how we report on the various findings here to ensure that you can turn these insights into actions. Now onto the Codefix AI agent. So as you saw me introduce those messages in real time before or see the findings that exist within the system, you can resolve them on your own by going to the supporting documentation, reviewing the steps to resolve the issue. But if you have access to your Now Assist credits through a Now Assist SKU or a Pro Plus SKU, you can now engage an AI agent to provide those recommendations for resolution for you. So as you can see, I am now on an on-change client script that has a couple known findings here, and I want to engage my AI agent to show me what are the ways that I can actually resolve this technical debt here. So I'm going to select this Fix with Now Assist UI action in the top right, and you will see that this makes a call out to our LLM to invoke these definitions over there, and it's going to do some analysis, create a plan, go through these definitions one at a time, and then address them on the form. It will give me recommendations for the changes as well as show me exactly on the script editor where the old code or the existing code existing in the system now, along with a difference window showing me the proposed introduced code from my AI agent companion here. So now that I'm waiting for this, or it looks like the required skill is inactive on this instance. So apologies on that. I'll have to engage some of my engineers to get this instance up and running. But what this would do is it would give you an analysis of each individual definition here, one at a time, giving you the logic for what it was going to suggest to you, and then you would see that translated to the script field where the existing code would highlight in red and a new line would appear under it called 2 plus with the newly proposed code highlighted in green. Unfortunately, the a skill does not want to work with me today. It looks like this instance wasn't set up properly, but hopefully we will be able to get that in front of you for the next review. I know that there is a video out there from our latest pack that this did work in. So if you're interested in seeing this in action, I do apologize for it not cooperating with me today, but we do have that available to consume as well. So these platform health capabilities, they not only surface the insights needed to understand platform health, but they also empower every role to take meaningful role-specific action. With this real-time visibility and targeted remediation paths, your teams are equipped to shift from reactive cleanup to proactive governance. So this is all I have to show for the demo portion today. And now we can discuss how you can prepare for this December release. How can you prepare to take advantage of these capabilities? So as I said, this all of this functionality you saw today will be available in the December store release on the 4th of this year. So to get ready to install the supported version, you need to be on the at least Yokohama patch 8 or Zurich patch 2. Those are the oldest supported versions for the new capabilities here, as well as you can expect to see all documentation existing um, on December during the release.
I think we can give folks a little bit of time back. So hopefully this was helpful, guys. And this is our last Impact Academy session of the year. We don't have one for December, given the holidays. So looking forward to speaking with you guys again in 2026. And for those of you in the US, happy Thanksgiving next week. And for everyone else, happy holidays going into the rest of the year. Thank you, everyone, for joining.